And the police state ends with me. And we made it one more day. As we move on in the reading of the fraudulent warrant and affidavit, first let me read you a short portion of the warrant affidavit. Then I'll pop it up on the screen so you can see it for yourself. First, let's reread yesterday's portion, and then we'll continue into today's portion. So yesterday, I read you Bartlesville, Oklahoma Police Department Investigator Anthony Lynn, affiant, being first duly sworn on oath. Okay? And that sentence moves on with, on oath, deposes and says that the following property constitutes evidence of the commission of a crime. Let me read that again, the whole thing. Bartlesville, Oklahoma Police Department Investigator Anthony Lynn, affiant, being first duly sworn on oath, deposes and says that the following property constitutes evidence of the commission of a crime. Okay, I'll pop that up on the screen for you so you can read it. Okay. Folks, and I quote, says that the following property constitutes evidence of the commission of a crime. Again, lying under oath, perjury. As we move forward, you will not only see that there was no probable cause, evidence, reason to believe legally or common sense-wise that my property constituted the evidence of the commission of any crime, that my property did not, does not, has not, and will not constitute evidence of the commission of a crime. We absolutely know this. In the end, it has been proven that there was no evidence of the commission of a crime. And I'll go further into that. So there was no probable cause or common sense from the beginning, and in the end, no evidence of a crime either. And I could have told you that from the start, of course, which I did. But then everyone knew that from the start too, so I'm jumping ahead in my notes. But then all of these corrupt people knew from the start that I had not committed a crime and that my property didn't constitute the commission of a crime. They just did this for all the reasons detailed in the videos because they can, as they have absolutely no consequences for their criminal behavior, and they wanted to get rid of a candidate running for city council that they did not want. Doing away with our democracy, rule of law, constitution, and civil rights, and creating a fascist Bartlesville police state. Well, they've certainly done that. And as we see, there's absolutely no consequences for their behavior. Absolutely nothing. This is your country, folks. This is what we have turned into. Please watch these videos. I'll put them in the description below to help explain this further. Now, there are many videos, but these really point towards the fraudulent nature of this strong statement under oath by Anthony Lynn. His statement that my property constituted evidence of the commission of a crime. He said that under oath, under the penalty of perjury, which he committed, perjury, and said that my property constituted evidence of the commission of a crime, when it did not. It absolutely did not. And it hasn't been proven that it did not, and that no person ever had any common sense or probable cause to believe it did. Also remember, the Bartlesville police were conveniently taking all the property from me that I own that may contain the security camera video I had just taken that same morning, just a few hours before, of the Bartlesville police officer that lives 2 doors down from me criminally trespassing and stealing on my property, which had been going on for months. And it got so bad, I told you this before, it got so bad I finally went and bought security cameras and equipment and installed it on March the 5th in the afternoon, 2015, March the 5th, 2015 in the afternoon, and at 6:02 a.m., the very next morning, March the 6th, 2015, I caught a fully uniformed, armed Bartlesville police officer criminally trespassing on my property and stealing on security camera video. Of course, I told him, hey, you can't be doing this. I've got you on security camera video. Huh? These corrupt people will go to great lengths to cover up their crimes. The Bartlesville police covering up their crime by stealing the evidence of the crime, the security camera videos. Again, please watch these videos. I mean, if you just watch this video, you're going to go, well, he didn't fully explain everything. Well, I've already explained everything in many, many videos, so I really encourage you to, if you haven't watched them, to go back and watch at least these, if not all of them. And if you have watched them, please reflect on these videos, because these point to this issue that today, this line under oath stating, deposing, and says that the following property constitutes evidence of the commission of a crime. Not that it might, not that they probably think it might, that it absolutely, positively says that the following property constitutes evidence of the commission of a crime. That is perjury. We are allowed, not we, not me, you, people are allowing our government to put people with badges and guns and entire police departments of corruption to go around and do this to people. These people don't even belong in public, let alone in a police position with a badge. They're psychopathic. And people just want to say, well, I don't want to know about it. It's too devastating to think that we've had this much corruption. Well, we do. Here's the videos, down in the description below again. Bartlesville police, proof of their crimes. Also, just watching the first 20 videos posted to the YouTube account really brings this lie under oath, perjury, which is a felony with 10 years in prison for each offense. It brings that into perspective. And I'll put that where you can just click on it. It'll take you right to the beginning videos down in the description below as well. There are also, right there in the first 20 videos, there's numerous videos called Civil Rights That Were Violated. Those explain it too. Of all the lengths they were going to, because they knew they had absolutely no evidence, so they had to do the things they did. They had to try to get me upset by tearing the house apart, by sitting me outside and leaving my little dog inside, screaming basically in her crate because she's got a bad back, you know, whelping and whining and so forth. They had to tell me I can't use the bathroom, try to get me, you know, upset about that, which that was very upsetting. Tell me off, make fun of me in front of my neighbors that had come outside to see what was going on. All kinds of things, and they're all in the videos, so I won't go back over it. Of course, I just did, but I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Reliving this is so stressful. It's a complete and total nightmare. It's the end of a person's life as anyone would know it. Imagine you and your family are sitting at your house and all this stuff happens to you. And then you report it, and when you report it to the city council, 5 hours later, the mayor just sends back and says, you're not telling the truth. You lack facts. They're not going to really do an investigation. The FBI just tells you twice, just report it locally. You report it locally, and they won't do anything, and nobody cares. And they just continue going on 15 months now. And you report it to the media, and the media they don't want to hear it because they rely on the police to feed them stories. And so they're just as aggressive as the police against you. They just want you to shut up, because every time somebody sees one of these videos, they say, why hasn't the local media picked up on this? Some people say, well, the media hasn't picked up on it because it's not true. Well, that's just a lie. It's been proven in these videos. You know that. You know that. The reason why they're not doing it is because they're corrupt too. They're supporters of the police to the point of fascism. Now, the whole purpose of the First Amendment in regards to to the press is for them to hold the government accountable, not to be government shills. But they rely to sell papers, and they need those stories from the police, and so they'll just ignore the fact that the police are corrupt, that they're liars. Of course, not all. I was raised by a retired police officer. I know not all police officers are bad, because I knew a good one. But I know the Bartlesville Police Department is corrupt to its core. And we've got fascism going on in this city and county, like maybe it's going on all over the country. And maybe, it appears maybe the majority of people are okay with it. Well, the Constitution isn't okay with it. Civil and human rights aren't okay with it, and I'm not okay with it. So if you're okay with it, jog on. You really should just go live in a country that doesn't believe in democracy. We don't have one anymore, apparently. Again, what is the use in voting when you know that no candidate can even get to the ballot, can't even campaign without having a fascist police state put on them? Only candidates that the local large corporations like Mike Moore and James Braswell want on the ballot can get to the ballot. Because they will put your life at risk, truly an attempt to kill you, by sending armed people under the color of law with guns to your house. And then today, still under threat by a huge, apparently 350,000 member LESMA group. They're coming to my house. Is it right now? Or is it a year from now? Who knows? We just know that the threat's out there. Terroristic threats. See, there's a group of people, the corporations, the wealthy, the well-connected, the politicians, the judges, the district attorneys, the police. They can do absolutely anything. It doesn't matter if they're terrorists. It doesn't matter that they're terrorizing me. It doesn't matter that they say it on the radio. On a radio show. None of that matters. No, who's going to hold them accountable? It's sickening. What has this country become? It's shameful. And it's not me. I'm doing what every American should do when something like this happens. Stand up and don't go along with it. Don't cower, stand up. I'm not claiming to be brave. I'm claiming that there's no choice. This is what you do as an American when this kind of crap happens. This is what you're supposed to do, is speak up. So I don't own it. I don't own this police state. It's not mine. Going back to the videos, I said, watch the civil rights that were violated videos. Also watch the video, the person that harassed me in 2009 now suddenly resigned. Now it's in the first 20 videos too. This happened just days after the raid on my home. Just days. They know who is behind all of this. They know that. I have to say allegedly, because I'm not privy to all their information and what they know they're doing, but I do know one thing, absolutely one thing, and there's everything they're accusing me of, I didn't do. They're liars. They're perjurers. They're immoral people hiding behind a badge and hiding behind what they call a faith-based organization, James Phillips Medical Center, supposedly a faith-based nonprofit organization. Is a member of Ascension Healthcare and St. John's Health System in Tulsa. They're hiding behind that. It's propaganda. Propaganda. Also watch the video, Bartlesville Police Keep on Lying. It's a recent video. And Bartlesville Police calls a family member. And please note this. This call to my family member, again, scaring my grandmother. This guy is a psychopath, Anthony Lynn. Calling my grandmother scared her. Well, the title of the video is Bartlesville Police Calls a Family Member. This call came to return my property just 2 days after I posted the video titled Bartlesville Police Proof of Their Crimes. I posted it, I believe, on a Friday, late on a Friday afternoon. And then Monday morning, first thing, they were calling to return my property. So it really wasn't 2 days later. It was really the first business day after, just a few business hours after I posted that, and he got back to work. He's going, oh crap, they now know. He was announced on the radio apparently, because he big mouth told this Lesma guy, and the guy put it on his podcast. Watch that video, Bartlesville police proof of their crimes, posted on a Friday afternoon. And then Monday morning, calls a family member to return my property. The whole thing was a sham. The whole thing was a sham, and I've been telling you that all along. But this Anthony Lynn, allegedly, because I wasn't part of the conversation, but allegedly told this podcaster everything they've been doing to me. Ha ha ha, it's funny, we're getting rid of this political candidate, and then a podcaster goes out there and announces it. So I get tipped off by an anonymous person about that, probably from a person that works at the Bartlesville Police Department. I don't know. It was an anonymous person. And so I go out there and I listen to it and I say, yeah, you know, you're right. You're right. That is proof. I can't believe that they're that arrogant. But they're this arrogant to actually say these things to a person in New York City and then have them posted on the internet and say it on the radio, because they know they're never going to be held accountable. Because we have no accountability for our public leaders anymore, our government anymore, our police, which is the government, the lethal arm of the government. Since they have no accountability, they recruit these psychopaths and then they go do anything they want. They're the biggest criminals. They're worse than... I've never been scared of a criminal. And I'm still not scared of just a plain old criminal. The worst criminals are these bad cops. Again, not all cops are bad, but bad cops, worst criminals you'll ever come across. Because your life is over when they do what they're doing. Because if you were to fight them, they'd kill you. And they can continue to do it for the rest of your life, which he will. They will. They'll do this for the rest of my life. So let me check my time. Ooh, I'm running long today. I'm sorry, people. This is devastating to me, so I'm talking about it. This call to return my property to my grandmother, you just watch the video, Bartlesville police calls a family member. It explains all of it. But this call came. However, the Bartlesville police still have not returned my property. And likely they never will. And if they do return it, you can bet all of the programming and software will be erased to get rid of the security camera videos I caught of them committing crimes. So they'll delete all that. Or the property will be damaged to the point of non-use. Every attorney I've spoken to has just said, you're never going to see your property again, and if you do, it'll be just trashed. So their game is to be able to go tell the media, well, we tried to return his property, but he wouldn't talk to us. Watch the video, Bartlesville police calls a family member, and you'll understand why. They're never going to return it. They're liars. They're just continuing the lying. And I'll just end today. The police state ends with me. And with that said, I'll see you tomorrow.